What up, this is Rama Screen covering movies, TV, and entertainment, and here's my review of Hulu's new miniseries, Mike. Hey, before you watch my review, please subscribe to my channel, press that like button, ring that bell, so you can get notified whenever I post new videos. Let's rock this. Okay, so this biopic is not approved by Mike Tyson himself. In fact, the real Mike Tyson has been outspoken on social media against this miniseries. He accuses Hulu of stealing his life story, and he equates Hulu's executives to slave masters. Look, I don't know whether or not Mike Tyson can sue Hulu for this. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know what's possible in this scenario. Usually, when you want to do a biopic on somebody, you gotta either acquire the life rights or the permission from the family estate. So I'm not sure what would be the potential legal ramification of all this. Now, if you recall, Mike Tyson has always been wanting to adapt his life story to the screen, with Jamie Foxx set on portraying him. We don't know why that project still has not gone off the ground yet, but as we're waiting, hey, this one has arrived. And I've watched the first 5 episodes thanks to Hulu, so what's my verdict? Mike is actually a pretty solid depiction of Mike Tyson. Now, keep in mind that this is made by the same people who gave us I, Tonya and Pam and Tommy, including, yes, director Craig Gillespie. So Craig applies his same filmmaking style again on this one. You know, breaking the fourth wall, camera zooming in fast from across the room. It's very clear that Craig is heavily influenced by Martin Scorsese. And you know what? It's the right narrative fit for this project. Rags to riches, age of decadence, a perfect blend of crime and dramedy. But here's the thing, Mike is the story of Mike Tyson from the perspective of what was reported or what has been said about him on the media over the years. It's based on what the world think they know about Mike. So Mike Tyson's own voice or Mike Tyson's own truth doesn't really shine through on this show. But still though, hey, it's a damn good dramatization if you ask me. From creator-screenwriter Steven Rogers and showrunner Karen Gist, Mike explores the dynamic and controversial story of Mike Tyson. This series explores the tumultuous ups and downs of Tyson's boxing career and personal life, from being a beloved global athlete to a pariah and back again. Focusing the lens on Mike Tyson, the series examines class in America, race in America, fame and the power of media, misogyny, the wealth divide, the promise of the American dream, and ultimately, our own role in shaping Mike's story. Mike is an unauthorized and no-holds-barred look at the life of Mike Tyson, starring Trevante Rhodes, Russell Hornsby, Harvey Keitel, Laura Harrier, and Lee Eubanks. There are a total of 8 episodes, but Hulu only granted me the first 5, and that's okay. That's more than enough for me to formulate my thoughts about it. Now, the first couple of episodes are emotionally heavy. It's Mike's rough childhood and upbringing with a mom who doesn't believe in Mike's potentials, until Mike finds a father figure in Coach Cuz D'Amato, who trains Mike's skills to become a monster in the ring. The third episode is when Mike finally finds love in Robin Givens. And let's just say that this third episode does pretty well in recreating their troubled, short-lived relationship. The fourth episode is when Don King enters the picture, played by the versatile Russell Hornsby. Here you get to see not only Don, but everybody else around Mike, who leeches off of his fame and fortune, with the exception of Mike's sister, who's above all that. And episode 5 is probably the most difficult one to watch because it highlights the famous rape case against Mike Tyson. Desiree took Mike to court, got him convicted, and ultimately sentenced to prison. That entire episode 5 is told from the point of view of Desiree. She narrates it from start to finish, and it's a very #MeToo episode through and through. Each episode runs about 25 to 30 minutes short, and that's one of the things that I appreciate about this show, in that it goes by fairly quickly and straight to the point. And this is the type of life journey that's worthy of being materialized on the screen. Now, this miniseries, Mike, doesn't make Mike Tyson out to be the bad guy, although episode 5 might change your opinion on that. But for the most part, Mike makes Mike Tyson out to be this child-hearted softy who happens to have an occasional villainous side. I mean, not to excuse or not to condone the guy, but money and popularity can bring out the worst in all of us. Now, the boxing matches are some of my favorite parts of this show because they are both artsy and visceral. They are there to showcase Mike Tyson's string of cockiness, which eventually becomes his downfall at the hands of Buster Douglas. The fight choreographies are swift and the punches are pretty loud. Listen, I grew up watching Mike Tyson's boxing matches, and in his prime, that dude was scary. And this show does a hell of a job of emphasizing the fact that you do not want to find yourself on the opposite end of Mike Tyson's corner. Look, yeah, there are times when Trevante Rhodes is a bit wobbly in capturing Mike Tyson's peculiar speeches and his mannerism, but once Trevante gets it locked down, come episodes 2 and on, you can tell he becomes more comfortable with just nailing the emotional beats while everything else runs on cruise control. So appearance-wise, Trevante may not look exactly like Mike Tyson, but no one can argue that Trevante packs just the right amount of weight and muscles, and it's spot on for that intimidating effect. Harvey Keitel is excellent as the late great Cuss. Russell Hornsby is unrecognizable in his transformative performance as Don King. And Lee Eubanks is powerfully impactful on episode 5 as Desiree. Look, the real Mike Tyson may not agree to this biopic, but nothing about this biopic screams out half-ass. It's very well acted and very well made. Overall, in conclusion, at the risk of sounding like a broken record, this is a pretty damn good depiction of one of the most influential sports figures in the 20th century. We definitely look forward to Mike Tyson's personally sanctioned biopic with Jamie Foxx, whenever that's gonna happen. But this one ain't bad. This is definitely not bad. It does its best to cover a lot of Mike Tyson's psychological complexities. Sometimes it's sad, sometimes it's triumphant, sometimes you feel for the guy, and sometimes you despise him. But again, this is based on what the world or the media already know about Mike Tyson. And now we wait for the Jamie Foxx version, in which Mike Tyson shares his side of the story.